An absolutely insane amount of money is about to come to the crypto space. And I really think Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Solana, whatever, you name the coins, they're about to do something pretty crazy based on what I'm about to show you in this video. I think just first things first, is quite important to note that the US House is stating this. They're basically stating that they're going to make sure crypto stays a top priority. Literally, the US House says it's taking historic steps to ensure the US remains the crypto capital of the world. Like, that's a pretty big statement on its own. But I think it's a bit heavier than even that. I mean, take a look at this list right here. What does this showcase? It's actually a list of current US crypto ETF prospectus filings with the SEC. These are basically all the filings that have been done here to get new ETFs going for the crypto space. And if you're not really sure what an ETF is all about, it's basically a tracker of a certain crypto or a bunch of crypto prices so that institutional money can easier get in, or it's easier for that money to flow in. Yes, of course, there are already ways for those institutions to currently buy, for example, a Bitcoin, an Ethereum, an XRP, but this just makes the whole process a lot easier because if you're a traditional company and you've always been buying these traditional ETFs, well, it's just easier if there's another ETF instead of the S&P, for example, there's one tracking an XRP or a Bitcoin or something of that sort. But just them filing them, that's not really the biggest of deals. I mean, what I've got here is basically the main reason why I am going all in at these points. Like, I've been investing so much the past couple of days, ever since I saw these two announcements. There are two things which just came out. Officially, there's three. I'd say officially point number one, which is basically my third point, my least important, was that Elon Musk said that the American party will embrace Bitcoin because fiat is hopeless. I thought the richest person in the world basically publicly stating the US dollar, fiat currencies, they're pretty garbage, Bitcoin is the key. I think that is a pretty big deal on its own. Point number two has got to be this video, which I'll show you in just a second. But first, if you've not done it yet, you like watching these videos, make sure you go ahead and press the like button on this video. Why is it flashing so much? But you've got nothing to lose. Let's give this video a little watch, shall we?
Crypto bills passed in the next few months?
Well, it's a very funny thing, crypto. So I became a fan of crypto, and to me it's an industry. I view it as an industry, and I'm president. And if we didn't have it, China would, or somebody else would, but most likely China. China would love to. And we've dominated that industry. It's a big industry, by the way. In fact, when the stock market went down recently, crypto and Bitcoin and all of that went down much less than anybody else as a group. And we've created a very powerful industry, and that's much more important than anything that we invest in. We invest in it, but really that was an industry that wasn't doing particularly well. I got involved with it a couple of years ago. And before the second term, I got involved before I decided to run. I only decided to run because I saw what was happening, and Biden was incompetent, and the administration was crooked and incompetent. And I was in Bitcoin then, not knowing if I was going to do it a third time. So it's become amazing. I mean, it's the jobs that it produces. And I notice more and more you pay in Bitcoin. I mean, people are saying it takes a lot of pressure off the dollar. And it's a great thing for our country. So I don't care about investing. I have I have kids, and they invest in different things. They do believe in it. But I'm president, and what I did do there is build an industry that's very important. And if we didn't have it, China would. Okay.
Sir, Mr. President.
And really, just only looking at this video, I sometimes think, what a freaking time to be alive, where if you asked me a few years ago if the United States president would publicly state that, how Bitcoin is such a good additional thing for the US dollar, all that, I would have never believed you. But really, when it comes to supporting my investment thesis, these were two pretty interesting ones, right? But these are just people's opinions. I think the third one is most important. And this is all besides the fact that the stock market, S&P, right? They've only always gone up, and so it's quite logical. People expect them to go up further. The third thing, which I'm about to show you, is what really broke the camel's back. What really made me rethink every single thing I've ever thought of investing and just go a bit crazier than I normally would. And by the way, if you're looking for a platform to trade on, I've got a few links down below, all right? I do some automatic bot trading on a platform called Pionex. You can find the links down below here. There's also always a video link there if you want a bit more of a tutorial for how I do passive income through bots. Or Blofin, it's a platform I trade on every single day. Right now, I've also got a juicy $700,000 trade open on XRP, and a few others have got open a few $100,000 worth as well. It's all over on Blofin. Check it out down below. But the very specific number one reason is because of something that I think went over most people's heads. So who I've got in front of me here is 𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂, a senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg. And he said something which you should really focus in on, I personally believe, all right? My personal thoughts. IBIT, which is BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF. And by the way, BlackRock is basically the largest investment management company in the world. As it currently stands, you just, for fun, quickly take a look at some of the numbers you can see right here, right? It's quite insane the numbers these guys do. Again, BlackRock's assets under management, about $10.01 trillion. It's a good sum. Anyway, a while back, they basically made this Bitcoin ETF. They made a way for all their clients that they've got under management, and I guess theoretically speaking others, to trade, to allow them to invest, to allow them to do anything what they want with Bitcoin through their IBIT ETF. But again, we just took a look at the Wikipedia, right? Who uses Wikipedia now that we've got ChatGPT? But BlackRock's been around for a while. They've been an investment company for a long time. They are the literal biggest investment management company in the world. And they've got a lot of these ETFs because that's the main way they allow their clients to trade. So with 21,000 employees and almost 1,200 funds, 1,200 of these different investment possibilities, because BlackRock's got a ton of them that they've listed over the past 40 years. Well, this Bitcoin one is not that special, right? When did it come in? I think January of 2024 is when they got listed. So, it's just one of them, right? Well, that's again where the kicker comes in. IBIT is now the third highest revenue generating ETF for BlackRock out of 1,197 funds, and is only about $9 billion away from being number one. Just another insane statistic for a 1.5-year-old, literally an infant ETF. Here's the top 10 list for BlackRock. Aside, how about the forgettable IWF at the top spot? Who knew? That's just a little fun fact. But the fact that it's basically already being one of their most profitable ETFs ever in freaking 1 year and a half, being the third highest revenue generating thing for the biggest investment management company in the world. It's not as if there's the most amount of money in it just quite yet. Matter of fact, if you really start thinking about it from BlackRock's angle, the fact that they were able to get this Bitcoin ETF in, and it was able to get to the number 3 spot already, so quickly, in a year and a half, don't you also think whatever chance they get, first of all, they're going to be promoting the crap out of this. That's one. Second of all, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure this keeps getting in the spotlight, that everybody's talking about it, that everybody wants it. Third of all, and this is my personal thesis, like, again, don't take this as advice, don't take this as a guarantee. This is me personally. I also kind of feel as if they also are going to try on their own to push this a bit more than even it naturally would, because if their clients are making a lot of money and things are doing good at the start at least, the popularity can kind of skyrocket and go so exponential, whereas the people who got in quite early when they first launched it a year and a half ago can never really get into a loss anymore. And eventually, as the prices stabilize, we've already seen that exponential rally. Most people can never go down under, and at that point it can just steadily flow. But that's again further into the future. I just kind of feel as if with them being able to get so much profit out of just Bitcoin, they're going to do everything in their power to make this big. But also on another side, they're going to probably be doing this for every single other coin they could. And they're going to do everything in their power for all these coins, from the regulatory angle, from any other angle, for them to thrive as well, as long as the regulation on the back end, as those coins are properly okayed by maybe the US SEC and maybe a couple other middleman places. We've also got Michael Saylor say IBIT will be #1. Well, I mean, I'm not a freaking BlackRock analyst, but by the way which things are going, we've got all these other funds. Maybe they're 25 years old. Maybe they've been running for a long time. And we got a newcomer on the block, one here, going to the 3rd spot in revenue. I think they also know they found themselves their freaking golden horse. Theoretically speaking, you cannot say that a trend that's showcased in the past, and you might say this thing is just hot right now, it's a hot potato, and eventually it will cool down, that this trend will last. But I'd say the opposite, which is they know they've struck gold. They're going to do everything in their power to milk the crap out of it because, well, these are the ones that have been around for 25 years. I think many people at some point thought many of those funds would just be a slow burner, would be a hype thing. But the same thing I think applies to the internet and many of those sectors. Most people that were early investors, most people that get into that opportunity thought, it'll eventually fade out. And the same thing I think for many other innovations of the sort. You don't really believe in it until you see it over a really long time span, and most people have already made a ton of money. I think BlackRock also, guys like Larry Fink, for example, and even Trump now, they've pushed it in such a way where it's almost, in my opinion, kind of impossible for it to really be a complete flop. Because the amount of times they've talked about it, the amount of times they've supported it, the fact that the US is pushing this so hard, and the fact we've even got Trump making videos saying, oh man, if we wouldn't do it, China would. It just showcases the demand for it. But once more, I just want to reiterate, the amount of new ETFs that are being filed right now are huge, right? Why? Because they know there's crazy amount of money to be made with this. And honestly, that's one of the main reasons I'm going a bit crazy right now on just getting my freaking bags filled. And I mean, on the one hand, I've got my passive bot trading strategies. If you do not know, just check out my daily videos. I make videos about these bots every single day about how I'm going to be making millions of dollars just doing nothing, sitting back on my ass, because I've proven it already. There's a nice little clip I've got where $4,000 turned into $1 million with the exact strategy I'm showing you guys in my daily videos, which is why I'm being so pushy on it to tell every single person about it. And on the opposite side, you also have seen some of my bigger trades that I'll keep open for a bit of a time. But I think this also will be in a couple $100,000 worth of profit not too long from now. All we got to do is have a bit of patience, but most likely the market will work with us. But those are my thoughts, and let me know down below if you disagree. Alright, I really would like to know who of you looks at whatever I've just provided and thinks, you know what? No, this is going to go to zero. Because every single time I post a short about it, it goes to an audience that's not really crypto savvy. And they always say, no, it's just a hype, it's just a hype. But I can't see it. I can only see the dollar signs that all the major institutions are seeing as well. And I'm thinking, even if it were to eventually go bust or whatever, at least right now, it seems to be the golden goose. And who in their right mind would bet against the golden goose? If the largest asset management company in the world is having their breakthrough moment with an asset that's never climbed so fast in their revenue generating, stances, who would not double down on that? It's the largest freaking asset management company in the world. You think they're going to let the golden goose die out? No, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure it thrives more. This is my thoughts. You can bet against BlackRock, but why do that? Oh, this is such a beautiful world we live in. It's such easy profit sometimes. Sometimes I get amazed just looking at this. But hey, I feel as if a massive push is coming. If you disagree, let me know down below. If you agree, make sure you press that like button. And if you want to trade, I've got some links down below, like I said. That's about it for this little crypto update. But yeah, oh my days, I'm juiced up. I'm excited. Let me know down below if you're excited too about the next few months.